So I wrote down the main story points, and I'll be narrating the story from what I remember from the subtitles. So it may be a little rough, and I translate well.
Renato.
I got a lot of paper here. I always switch places. That's how we practiced it. That's what I know. It's what I'm comfortable with. Okay. This is a story about Joseph Clymer, the most amazing man in the world. He's kind of the guy that, he's going to roll with anything, you know. He's just an amazing man. At the age of 17, he was a boxer. He was like the heavyweight champion boxer of the world. He had all the belts and everything. But of course, life throws some curveballs. And so he was at a hot dog eating competition, and he was down in all these hot dogs, just left and right. He was beating everyone, but his stomach started hurting. He had this really bad stomach ache, and for some reason he went paralyzed on his left side. Pretty much he couldn't use his left arm, and so, like, but he's not one to be sad or down or depressed or like, you know, he always finds the best in life. So, you know, he finds a job. Pretty much the only thing he could do right now would be answering phones. Hello? So he finds a job answering phones. But the problem is, he's got all this information coming in, and basically he can't take any notes on the phone calls because he can't write with his left hand. So basically, he built a machine to answer all the phone calls so he can write down notes.
Hello, 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 hello.
Anyway, he's very comfortable with his job. Of course, life throws fastballs. So of course, he was standing outside one day, and you know, he saw this plane just like dive bombing out of the air. And in the process, he lost his voice completely.
Look there!
Anyway, he's not one to get down or depressed or, you know, like look down on his life situation. So basically, he does what he can. And he directs an orchestra in town, and they get really famous. He's directing his orchestra, and they put all this amazing music, and he tours all around the world. And he was very happy with his current situation. But of course, life throws fastballs, curveballs, changes stuff up. So one day he was just taking kind of an off day. He was laying around at the park. He was laying under a tree, and this tree bomb explodes. And you know, he just goes deaf, like he cannot hear anything. And so he can no longer like work at the orchestra. And so he has to find another job. But he's not going to be down about this. He's not, you know, he's looking up. You know, life is still good. So basically, he moves to the country and tries to find something he's useful in the country with. And so he goes to a sugar cane plantation and starts to, you know, grinding some sugar cane down in the machine. And you know, he's liking his job. It's simple. You know, it doesn't have to exercise too much of his mind strength. But so he's doing that one day, but of course, you know, life throws curveballs. So one day the machine like rips his arm off or something, goes crazy, crushes his arm. But he can't use his arm. So now he's down 2 arms, and he can't talk or hear. So, but he's not one to be down about his life situation. So, you know, he makes the best of it. And he discovers that, you know, he's pretty talented in the artist area, and so he starts painting with his right leg. And you know, mostly based off of Van Gogh and, you know, famous artists, but he gets really famous. And he tours all around the world. He does galleries in America and all over Asia and Europe. I mean, just a really well-known, you know, painter. But life throws curveballs. So one day he's standing outside. He's working on a masterpiece. It's like a basketball court of like an elementary school. They paid him millions of dollars to paint this, you know, amazing painting. And this helicopter just, you know, starts going out of control and comes in, and basically, you know, it saw the painting on the concrete, you know, and it was able to steer clear of the elementary building there, but the propellers chopped his legs off. So now you know, he's not one to be down about, you know, his life situation. But you know, so he gets this job working at the post office, basically licking stamps all day. He is known as the world's greatest stamp licker. He licks millions of stamps every day, and he's pretty happy with his job. You know, doing what he can, making the most of it, you know, just making some kind of money to get by. But you know, life throws curveballs.
What? What, man?
Okay, I'll skip to the end.
Okay.
Okay. This is the story about Mr. Climber, the world's greatest paperweight.
Renato!